think about this. Really, we only have 890 deaths so far this year, and females only produce one calf every 2 to 5 years. But with conditions of the waters right now, they may not be able to do so because they're so stressed. But luckily, a foot was put forward today to prevent the extinction of our gentle giants.
To come out here and see a manatee, let alone a little baby, that was heartbreaking.
You may recall Teresa, a former colleague of the ABC7 team, who found a dead baby manatee back in April. But today, this has become a common occurrence. At the beginning of April, we were at an alarming death total of 610. Now, a record-breaking number, 890. The mass die-off early this year at Indian River Lagoon, where 95% of seagrass died, leaving 20% of the manatee population to starve to death. But back on our coast, growing concerns of red tide, an issue that killed 300 manatees in 2013 and could pose the same threat now.
We've been building, if you will, a debt that's come due. And in Piney Point's case, by the breach in the lining, spilling that out, it shows really how foolish it was to allow that to be there in the first place, honestly. And
now that debt is due.
A lot of smart people in this world, in Sarasota, in Florida. Something can be done, and it's time. Let's not wait until there are 500 or 100 or 50. You know, right now we have thousands. Let's look at increasing that number.
And a first step in doing so was made today as Representative Vern Buchanan and Representative Darren Soto have introduced a bill to upgrade manatees back to endangered.
You know, we're all going to try to work together to get this on the floor as quickly as we can and get this passed, because it will mean more resources to manatees and keep them in a better scenario so we can bend the curve instead of creating more deaths, less deaths for the manatees.
It's like your pet. It's like your dog or your cat or your babies, you know, your children. They rely on you. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be here. And that's the same thing with the manatees.
An investment in manatee protection is an investment in Florida's future.
And again, Representative Buchanan says they are going to be pressing to get this bill on the floor as quick as they can. And also, if you do come across a deceased manatee, call the Florida Fish and Wildlife Alert number, which you can find on this story at mysuncoast.com. In the studio, Justin Hobbs, ABC7, your local station.
All right, Justin.